Hello everyone. Today here we are going to learn about tense. We all know that tense is related to time. There are three types of tense: present tense, past tense and future tense. Present tense is related to present time, past tense is related to past time and future tense is related to future time. Each tense is again divided into four parts. First, let us see present tense, simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. These are the four types. So first let us see simple present tense. Simple present tense is used to denote scientific facts. For example, the earth moves around the sun. Universal truth, the sun rises in the east. And work done on daily basis. For example, she goes to school every day. Do remember we add s or es in simple present tense to the verb. And here I have given for your convenience the rules for affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences. And yes, throughout the slides you will see V1, V2, V3. V1 is the present tense form of the verb. V2 is the past tense form of the verb. And V3 is the past participle form of the verb. Do remember this. For affirmative, subject plus V1 plus S or ES plus object. For example, she writes a letter. Negative, subject plus does not plus V1 plus object. She does not write a letter. Interrogative, does plus subject plus V1 plus object. Does she write a letter? Do remember we have to put a question mark at the end of interrogative sentence. Then comes present continuous tense. It is used to express an action taking place at the time of speaking. I can say that at present I am recording. So that is, it is used to express an action taking place at the time of speaking. Again the same affirmative, negative and interrogative are given. Affirmative, subject plus is, am, are. Do remember we used as forms of be verb in present continuous tense, am, is, are, plus V1 plus ing plus object. For example, she is writing a letter. Negative, subject plus is, am, are plus not plus V1 plus ing plus object. Example, she is not writing a letter. Again comes interrogative. When it is interrogative, we all know that the helping verb comes in the beginning. Auxiliary verb is or am or are plus subject plus V1 plus ing plus object. Is she writing a letter? This is a question, right? Then comes present perfect tense. It is used to show an action that started in the past and has just finished. Do remember, it started in the past but it has just finished. It is present perfect. For example, affirmative, subject plus has or have. When it is perfect tense, then we always use the have verb. So for present perfect, we use either has or have in relation to the person plus V3. Do remember this is past participle form of the verb plus object. Example, she has written a letter. Negative, subject plus has or have plus not plus V3 plus object. Example, she has not written a letter. Then comes interrogative, has or have plus subject plus V3 plus object. Has she written a letter? Then comes present perfect continuous tense. This tense shows the action which started in the past and still continuing. It started in the past but still it is continuing when we talk about present perfect continuous tense. So for affirmative, subject plus has or have plus been plus V1 plus ing plus object. She has been writing a letter for 2 hours. Generally, when it is present perfect continuous tense, we always have words like for and since. Negative, subject plus has or have plus not been plus V1 plus ing plus object. She has not been writing a letter for 2 hours. Then comes interrogative, has or have plus subject plus been plus V1 plus ing plus object. Has she been writing a letter for 2 hours? So see, this is very easy. Actually, you have to mix up present perfect plus present continuous. Two things are together. That's why has or have plus been, again ing form is also there. Both are there together. And do remember, most of the time there is a since or for in this type of tense. We may talk about it has been raining since morning. So it started in the morning until now it's going on. It has been raining since morning. So there we can talk about present perfect continuous tense. Okay, now we will talk about past tense. First, let's begin with simple past tense. It is used to indicate an action completed in the past and past habit. Again, here the same thing is given: affirmative, negative, and interrogative rules. Affirmative, subject plus V2 plus object. V2 past tense form of the verb. She wrote a letter. Negative, subject plus didn't plus V1 plus object. Do remember, when we already write did, we do not write V2 again. We write only V1. For example, she didn't write a letter. We cannot write she didn't wrote a letter. That is wrong. We have to write she didn't write a letter. Interrogative, did plus subject plus V1 plus object. Did she write a letter? Then comes past continuous tense. It is used to denote an action going on at some time in the past. So, in the past, it took some time, it was going on in the past. It was continuing in the past. For example, we can talk about that once she was crossing the road, the car knocked her down. We have two action. One we are talking in simple past and the other is in past continuous. There is always condition. Okay. Affirmative rule, subject plus was or were plus V1 plus ing plus object. She was writing a letter. Negative rule, subject plus was or were plus not plus ing plus object. She was not writing a letter. Then comes interrogative, was or were plus subject plus V1 plus ing plus object. Was she writing a letter? In negative and interrogative, before ing, we have to add V1, subject plus was or were plus not plus V1 plus ing plus object. She was not writing a letter. In interrogative, was or were plus subject plus V1 plus ing plus object. Was she writing a letter? Then comes past perfect tense. It is used to describe an action completed before a certain moment in the past, usually a long time ago. If two actions happened in the past, past perfect is used to show the action that took place earlier. So suppose there are two actions. One is a patient died and then doctor came. The first action, patient died, doctor arrived later. So we can say the patient had died before the doctor arrived. So the first action, the earlier action will be used in past perfect tense and the later action will be in simple past tense. For affirmative, we have subject plus had plus V3 plus object. She had written a letter before I asked to. Then negative, subject plus had plus not plus V3 plus object. She has not written letter before I asked to. Then Interrogative had plus subject plus V3 plus object. Had she written later before I asked to? V3 is there in all the sentences. Then comes past perfect continuous tense. It is used to denote an action that began before a certain point in the past and continued up to some time in past. So, it continued for some time in the past only. It started in the past and continued for a long period in the past. Affirmative subject plus had been plus V1 plus ing plus object. She had been writing a letter since morning. Negative subject plus had plus not plus been plus V1 plus ing plus object. She had not been writing a letter since morning. Do remember we have to use only had in past tense. Then comes interrogative. Had plus subject plus been plus V1 plus ing plus objects. Had she been writing a letter since morning? So do remember in past perfect we use had and in past perfect continuous tense also we use had. Remember this. Don't forget. And past perfect continuous tense is not much in use these days. Then comes future tense. This tense tells us about an action which has not occurred yet and will occur after saying or in future. So we all know that future tense talks about future time. Again here the rules are given for affirmative, negative and interrogative. We all know that for future tense we use the words will or shall. For affirmative, subject plus will or shall plus V1 plus object. Example, she will write a letter. Negative, subject plus will or shall plus not plus verb plus object. She will not write a letter. Interrogative, will or shall plus subject plus verb plus object. Will she write a letter? Then comes future continuous. It is used to express an ongoing or continued action in future. For example, he will be distributing sweets in temple tomorrow at 12 o'clock. For affirmative, we have the rule subject plus will or shall plus be plus verb plus ing plus object. She will be writing a letter. So be is here in future continuous. Negative subject plus will or shall plus not plus be plus verb plus ing plus object. She will not be writing a letter. Interrogative will or shall plus subject plus be plus verb plus ing plus object. Will she be writing a letter? Then comes future perfect tense. We do not use much future perfect tense and future perfect continuous tense. Future perfect tense is used to express an action which will happen or occur in future and will be completed by a certain time in future. For example, they will have shifted the house by Sunday morning. So we have a estimated time about it. For affirmative, subject plus will or shall plus have plus verb. V3 is used here plus object. She will have written a letter. The negative subject plus will or shall plus not plus have plus V3 plus object. She will not have written a letter. Then interrogative will or shall plus subject plus have plus V3 plus object. Will she have written a letter? Then comes future perfect continuous tense. It is used to talk about actions that will commence at a fixed time in future and will continue for some time in future. So again, we all know that when we talk about perfect continuous in any tense, it always have a longer duration than the others. For affirmative, the rule is subject plus will or shall plus have been plus verb. It means the V1 plus ing object. She will have been writing a letter. Negative subject plus will or shall plus not plus have been plus V1 plus ing plus object. She will not have been writing a letter. Then comes interrogative rule. Will or shall plus subject plus have been plus V1 plus ing plus object. Will she have been writing a letter? So this is what tense is I have given an idea of present, past and future and all its types here. So I hope if you go through this, you will be able to understand. Thank you for today.